Hello, AJ. How are you doing, mate?
Franklin. Yeah. Hello, mate.
I don't know why you're laughing, because we've taken 3 takes.
Yeah, exactly.
To get to this point.
Oh, there's nothing to laugh about in this place.
And this is not really part of the show, is it?
Nah, well, not really. It's just it's just a little casual warm up, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, a little warm up. So what have you been up to?
So I've had my hair done.
You've had your hair done?
I've had my hair done. Yeah. So.
Well, I noticed it's really glowing, and it's got that sort of. What was that advert?
What the
Tipite? Well, I can't remember what it was.
Maybelline, Tresemme.
Tresemme. It could have been something like that. But yeah, the hair looks really, really.
Thank you. I've had it coloured.
You've had it coloured?
I've had it coloured. Yeah.
Oh right. So like because it was a little bit more sort of blondie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I've had it sort of coloured over in like a bit of a light brown. No, right. But it's actually very shiny. I had like the full hairdressing experience as well. Like they washed it, conditioned it, they blow dried it, talked about my holidays, all of that stuff. Yeah. Like, it was lovely. So yeah, the hair company, Standish, shout out to them.
Oh right, yeah. Well, listen, I definitely somewhere along. Listen, for those that can't visualise it, AJ has this lovely mane of hair. Is that the right description?
Yeah.
How long is it, would you say, roughly?
Oh, God.
You'd only have it tied up, don't you? But you've got it out again now.
I'm 5'11" and it comes down to...
You're not a 5'11".
I am, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, I must have shrunk then.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, yeah, as you get to your age, you kind of do, unfortunately.
All right.
So,
I
don't know, actually. I've never measured it, but
it's
very
a good,
long.
It's a good 18 inches long, isn't it?
I think it probably is. Yeah. It's a very inches long in hair, yeah.
Yeah.
My hair is fresh and it's coloured. And
I think there's an advert coming off there. Anybody wants to
sponsor my hair.
Sponsor AJ's hair, then please contact me. My email address and my phone number is available on all social media platforms. It's absolutely glowing. I mean, fortunately, Rowena isn't here to see it because she'd be absolutely insanely jealous looking at your hair there.
Bless her. She's got a good head of hair herself.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't think so. She thinks it's falling out at the moment. I shouldn't have said that. She's going to kill me for saying that.
She's going to kill you.
Yeah, she says it's the stress.
Moving quickly on. What I've been watching on the TV. So I've got I've got a TV series that I'm watching again. It's only a mini series. It's just 10 episodes long, and then I watched the movie the other week, and it was absolutely brilliant. But it'll make you ugly cry for the ages. Right. So the TV show is
ugly cry.
Yeah.
What does ugly cry?
Oh my God! Have you never seen? There are people who can cry but look, elegant and pretty and dignified while they're doing it.
Oh, right.
And then there's crying with like the pulled faces, the snot running down, the hair everywhere, your eye makeup is running, you're wailing, you're sort of pulling horrible noises like a banshee. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the TV series is Band of Brothers. Yeah. And it's one of my favourite TV shows ever. I think it's like the best TV show ever. I've got the box set on DVD. That's how old I am. I'll lend it you. I haven't
got a DVD player.
Oh my!
Well, they have somewhere probably.
Exactly. James will sort it out for you. It's on Sky. Yeah, it's on Sky and Now TV and all of them ones. So you should definitely watch that if you haven't already. It's about World War II, and the in the airborne division of the United States Army, who parachuted in over occupied France on D-Day, and they were involved in a lot of the frontline battles that occurred as the Allies gradually took back mainland Europe, obviously starting in France, into Holland, Austria, and then finally into Germany from there. That's including like Operation Market Garden, and then the the successful kind of taking back of like the town of Foy, which was like a pivotal moment in World War II, and then the liberation of some of the concentration camps within Poland, Germany, places like that. Absolutely stunning TV show. Really.
So you've sold it to me. Okay. I mean, I love watching war sort of orientated programs. Is this a documentary or a drama?
It's a drama. It's a mini-series.
Oh, right, even better.
Yeah, so Damian Lewis is in it.
So how old is this then now? Because I've definitely heard of it.
24 years old.
Oh, right.
Come out in 2001. And each episode begins with an interview of the real-life soldiers that were in this division, which was called Easy Company of the 506th Division of the
I would imagine these are all dead by now.
They are, yeah. Everybody who was in the TV show, or everybody who was in, sorry, not the TV show, everybody who was in the actual battalion themselves has all passed away now. But people still talk about them to this day. And it contains a lot of actors who are big now, who are just starting out then, including Tom Hardy, Michael Fassbender, Andrew Scott, James McAvoy. All of these guys had like little roles in there as they were starting out. I think it's the best TV show that's ever been created, and fully endorse you to watch it. The other one is it's a movie, and again it's based on truth, and it's called Only the Brave, and it's American, and it's about a firefighting team, but they are outdoor forest fighters and not structural fighters. They're based in Arizona in Western America, and it kind of charts how they battled forest fires and how they became qualified as primary firefighting division, if you like, known as the Hot Shots. That's what they call them. Amazing movie, proper made me ugly cry though. So there you go. There's a TV to watch, and it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm just thinking there that possibly we should sort of branch out into box set reviews. There's another show to be made here, isn't there?
I've got a degree in English and film, so all of my
I've got a degree in Coronation Street. I'm going off Coronation Street, to be honest with you. It's getting a bit predictable.
Not surprised. But I mean, just for the viewers' insight, it was Frank's birthday last week, and I turned up on his doorstep with a nice bottle of wine and a card, knocked on his door, and he didn't answer the door, so I left it on his doorstep, sent him a text, and his reply was, "Sorry, mate, didn't hear the knocking at the door, was watching Coronation Street." I thought, your man's playing second fiddle to Coronation Street. God.
Well, listen, what it is, I'm not saying I'm hard of hearing, but that television is rather loud and I get moaned at on a regular basis. But that's probably the reason the volume was pretty high, and I didn't hear it, and it just shows you. Was that my birthday or my day after my birthday?
It was 3 days after your birthday.
Oh, 3 days after my birthday.
Never ever do anything for anybody on their birthday. It's always like, it was my father's birthday last month, and I think he got his present about 6 days ago.
All right, that's good. Well, listen,
he really liked it.
You got there in the end. But listen, talking about birthday presents, I got some lovely little birthday presents as well. I got a cushion with the Speaking Frankly football show on it, and I've got some coasters. Now, I've only got 3 because one of them broke in transit, so I'm waiting for another 1 or 2 to be sent out.
I certainly hope so.
So, I mean, listen, not that it means anything to our listeners because you can't see them, but I did take a photograph last week and put it on the Speaking Frankly football show. Did you? Twitter page.
Did you?
Yeah, I think somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to have a nose at them, you'll be able to spot them on one of those photographs.
They are available to purchase as well. $49.99 for a set of 4. All proceedings go to Skem United Football Club.
Well, I was thinking of that. I mean, I was thinking of something else actually. I was thinking United together. No, what is it now? United?
Together Stronger?
I forgot. Listen, I created the logo and I can't even remember it. United we stand. Together we succeed.
Ah, yes.
Now, if you were trying to raise a little bit of money for Skem United Football Club, nice polo shirts with that on, with the logo in the middle.
That might work, yeah. Do you know what? We should have that written on our kits for next season. I
know. Well, listen, all depends on whether we get a main club sponsor, because we could always, if we don't.
We could.
That's an idea.
Think of all the possibilities. I suppose we better get on with the show.
Really, I think we'll get on with the show, cool. AJ. Hello and welcome to the Speaking Frankly football show. I'm Frank Hughes, the chairman of Skelmersdale United Football Club, and alongside me is my co-host and passionate press officer, AJ the Jet. Not that being involved with the football club is a prerequisite for hosting a football podcast, but it certainly helps. We are ready to dive headfirst into the vibrant world of non-league football in the North West, and we might even take a moment to discuss some of the bigger headlines in the sport. We'll explore life in the North West counties, bring you interviews with well-known faces in the league, and analyse how local teams are performing while making bold predictions for their upcoming matches. Nothing is off the limits here. We'll be diving into all kinds of topics, including complicated refereeing decisions and regulations that often leave fans perplexed. We want to hear from you too. This is your show, so don't hesitate to reach out with topics you want us to tackle. Let's get this conversation started and enjoy every single moment. We are speaking frankly. Hello and welcome to the Speaking Frankly Football Show. This is Series 2, Episode 5, and a very, very warm welcome to the long-haired lover of Skelmersdale, AJ.
Hello, Frank. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for coming back for the 5th episode of the second season, which we're well underway with today. On the show, we are going to, of course, be looking at the North West Counties results and fixtures from last week and next week. We're going to be discussing the fall of Southport Hesketh. We're going to be discussing Morecambe FC, and we'll also be jumping into the new Amazon documentary built in Birmingham, Brady and the Blues. And then we will, of course, finish our day, as we always do, with Skelmersdale United and what's to come for the future. But first...
Yeah, well, I managed to watch the Tom Brady documentary. I call it the Tom Brady documentary because it...
It's about him, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the feel of it is from... I've not watched it all yet by no means. I've probably watched the first... I think I've watched the first episode so far. So it's called Built in Birmingham, Brady and the Blues. So by title, by the definition there, we know it's more about Tom Brady now. My question is Tom Brady part and parcel of what is going wrong in modern day professional football? A club that has been taken over, and bearing in mind he's just a minority shareholder. He's brought in as the big man because he's got a huge sporting persona. Yeah. Obviously, absolutely huge in NFL in America.
Certainly is.
But he's come over to this country, and he's not staying in this country, but he's become a part of Birmingham Football Club. Thomas Wagner is the chairman. His mantra is make money, make some money and make a good return. So already, I mean, the alarm bells are sounding for me. I don't know whether he's expecting to make money out of Birmingham, but it's not such a bad business model because what we want football clubs to stand up on their own 2 feet and make a profit. It's where the profit goes that we worry about. And then if we look at and you know more than I do about the Manchester United story, is that that far in hock, £1 billion worth of debt. And then you question...
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that we talk about that one because just to kind of go off topic, there was a story in the media today about how United's financial worries have actually been blown out of proportion a little bit more because we have still put in a bid for Benjamin Sesko today, a bid of about £74 million, something like that, with the potential to rise to 85. Now, we're still, and we can't really say this for Birmingham, but we're still an enormous business model and an enormous attraction for purchase. So I think we still made an awful lot of money off of shirt purchases and memorabilia, ticket sales. We obviously made a bit of money from our tour of America recently.
Is it true they actually make more money through shirt sales than they actually do through gate revenue.
I think that's correct. Yeah, because you still have the intake of overseas, don't you? Which you won't get at a game. A game's ticket revenue is limited to 76,000 fans, and I don't think United have been averaging that across the last season. I think it's been closer to 72.
Has it gone that far down?
I think it has, yeah. But then the purchasing of shirts is open to anybody. It's open worldwide. So
we do know there's a huge market in Asia and America as well, North America, if you like. For merchandise, and we know that's followed through Wrexham and the Wrexham story as
Very
well.
Much
so we're talking about completely sort of different sort of parts of the sphere in terms of Birmingham City, and then people said it's like a pound shop version of the Wrexham Disney story.
Which I'm not sure if I believe that really, because I know everybody kind of loves Wrexham and kind of how they've come up from the non-league pyramid.
They've done it right.
Yeah.
And they've done it in a fashion where they've made friends along the way. The pound shop version of it appears to be, from this outset, is the built-in Birmingham one, because straight away Tom Brady goes into discussing Wayne Rooney and his work ethics.
Yeah.
And can he transfer his experience, Tom Brady's experience from the NFL, legitimately into association football? I don't know whether you can. I understand where he's coming from in terms of ethics, but very, very early on in that show, he's having a go at Wayne Rooney. And it's amazing, really, and he's still in situ in the job. And you won't know this until he's watched it himself. But this documentary's been recorded a couple of years ago now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I've been watching the sort of transformation.
Yeah.
Because they got promoted from the Division 1
yes,
to
they
the
did.
Championship.
Yeah, at a bit of a canter, really, which is why I think it's not quite like the Wrexham story. Wrexham still had to work really hard to get to where they were. They still had to find a team that were capable of turning up every week and doing the business. And if you remember 2 years ago, they had that glorious end of season battle with Notts County to see who would actually win promotion. Because bear in mind, there's only 2 promotion spots from the conference to League 2, and one of them is automatic. And I think it went down to the one of the last games of the season, and it was Ben Foster who saved that penalty for Wrexham that helped secure them that win. Now Birmingham, by contrast, went down last season, which was the season that Rooney was season before last, which was the season that Rooney was in charge. And they retained a fair amount of their players. So almost immediately they had a bit of a favourites tag to go back up. They then broke the League One transfer record twice within the same transfer window, and I think it went to £15 million for Jay Stansfield, who ended up scoring quite a lot of goals from his centre forwards position, and Birmingham absolutely rocketed up the table and stayed there, a bit the same way that Macclesfield did. They were a bit more heavyweight within that division, and so immediately had a bit of an advantage. Now, money doesn't talk a lot within the game of football when you think about teams like Chelsea and United, who aren't doing nearly as well despite the outlay that they're spending. But when it works, it does work well. And I think that's the case for Birmingham right now. As for Wayne Rooney, he always worked hard as a player, and I think he would have probably worked hard as a coach. But wherever he's gone, he's not succeeded, really. Derby.
Do you think they start
Plymouth.
far too high up the ladder and maybe should be settling further down?
It's possible, yeah. I think Wayne...
League 2?
Yeah, I mean, this is it, because you think about Plymouth Argyle, he's not there anymore. He didn't have he didn't have a good run of form at Argyle either. So for me, he maybe could do with going even further down the league, but I think his demand for income and his wages and his fees probably not the kind that a non-league club could afford.
Do you think they're getting a sort of the publicity around ex-Premier stars, if you like? I mean, I think Robbie Fowler was one of them as well. The name now puts chairmen off actually employing them. I don't know whether it's an ego thing because they think they're going to be far bigger than the club. You know, the fact that Wayne Rooney went to Plymouth or Derby County. Was it Derby County?
Yes.
And like we said there, Birmingham. He brings a big noise to the football club, doesn't he?
He does. He does bring a big noise. And he brings it to teams for whom a lot is needed. You know, all the teams that he went to, maybe with the exception of Birmingham, were in the battle for relegation. Ironically enough, Birmingham ended up getting relegated in Wayne Rooney's season, but they'd started in about 5th place when he came in to take over, succeeding John Eustace as manager, and then he ended up getting relegated. So I think for chairman...
He got relegated after he'd left, though, didn't he?
He did get relegated after he had left. This is correct, but I think the writing was on the wall for them for a lot of his tenure. And then I think by the time February, March came around, when I think he was finally sacked.
But I always think that the rot is probably already set in before he's taken over. So if they're in 5th place when he's taken over, there's something already going wrong if you're getting rid of your manager.
Well, this was it, and I think this was probably the point that Wagner and Brady wanted to prove, was that they wanted a bigger name to help them go up the league and to go into the Premiership. I think
they've changed that now because they've got Chris Davis, haven't they?
Chris Davis is in, yeah, and he's not a big name.
No.
You know, at our level, I had to do a little bit of research on him to find out who he was, but I think he's got. I mean, he won the league at a canter. He's got the credentials now because he won League One at a canter. But now, see, the Championship is a whole different league. So, will he, make his credentials even stronger? Very possible, yeah. But I think, you'll probably know this a little bit better because you are a chairman who has employed a Premier League star to manage your club. And for me, there is a fine balance between whether the club need it for publicity or whether they actually just need the credentials of a seasoned, strong manager to be able to manage it. And I think that depends where you are in the pyramid. For a club like Plymouth Argyle, they probably don't need the name because they're a solvent professional club in their own right. They just need a manager who can spend their money wisely and get them to where they want to go. But it's probably different for a club down at our level.
Well, I never thought I'd be sitting opposite someone discussing on a podcast as a chairman of a football club that brought an ex-Premier League footballing star to the football club. But yeah, listen, often the question's being asked, was it a publicity stunt? No, it wasn't. At the time, we were a little bit worried about which direction we were going in. I think we'd won one game, drawn one game, mid-October, decision had to be made. Now, in terms of Pascal still has, as far as I know, his own academy, PC39.
Yes, he does.
And 5 of his players that played in his academy also played for Pilkington the season before, and they'd secured, amongst other players, it helped secure promotion from the Division 1 North to the to the Premier Division of the Northwest Counties. So it appeared to me like he's sort of well connected with really decent players, and it gave us the opportunity of replacing some of the younger players that we had, and gave us a fighting chance of not only climbing off the bottom of the division, but maybe having some kind of middle table success, and then going further ahead the season afterwards. What happened in essence was that it ended up becoming a big publicity stunt, but it wasn't it certainly wasn't meant to be that way.
So it looked like it was really. I know that there was an awful lot of social media presence on Skem when he arrived, and I know that there was a Sky Sports report on it as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, listen, there was all kinds. I mean, I was on BBC, ITV, Sky, all kinds of radio stations. There was quite a lot of razzmatazz attached to it all. It was a strange. It feels like a dream period now when you look back on it, but it never quite achieved what I thought it would do anyway, because once you've made that decision and you realise that there's a huge amount of interest in it, you automatically think that you're going to do better in terms of sponsorship, but it never quite happened for one reason or another. And then Pascal become famous for being sent off and the lack of discipline and what have you. And I think we accumulated sort of £2,500 worth of fans during his period of management, so it was hard for him to adjust even at that level. So yeah, listen, great football coach, and it remains to be seen whether he ever gets back into management. You'd like to think he could, because he's a really likeable chap, just a bit of an animal on the pitch and in the dugout.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go back to Wayne Rooney and the decision by the Americans to bring such a huge star to the football club, I think at the time it seemed like a good idea.
Yeah.
But I think pretty soon, I don't know what it is. The Americans are always they proclaim that they are winners. They start out as winners. They don't want to be anything else other than winners. They're quite selfish in that sense, which is a great ethic to have.
Yeah.
But does it always work? It sometimes comes across as arrogance. But I don't know. Listen, I love Birmingham. I've been to St Andrews many, many times before. I love the Brummies. I think they kind of have the same kind of sense of humour as us Scousers, us Northerners. So listen, I wish them all the best of luck. It's just I'm not particularly convinced by the documentary. I don't think it does them any favours at all. And what they've said is that, Thomas Wagner said he's not brought Brady here for promotional purposes. Well, what has he actually brought him there for? To change the ethics? The way that they coach, I don't know. But for me, I'm not overly excited about the documentary, albeit I've only watched the first episode.
Right. I mean, I haven't been able to watch any of it, so I couldn't give you a full review on what I think has gone on. But I'm not. Like I say, and like you said, I'm not overly keen on this model. I understand that he wants to kind of make money, and I suppose in a way, maybe that's the best thing for the club, is to be able to be in profit and be sustainable. But the way he says it almost feels like it's him that's making the profit, not the club, and it's him that's prospering, not the club. And bearing in mind, this is Birmingham City, who have had financial worries in the past. And who don't deserve, like any football club's fans, to have to go through that uncertainty again.
Listen, I've watched a lot of these documentaries, these football documentaries. I've watched Sunderland Till I Die. I think I've watched an Arsenal one, and I've watched the one on Spurs. And what it does, it shows you the cutthroat nature of football.
Yeah.
And the other one, of course, is the class of '92. And if you watch that, they were sacking managers left, right, and centre, weren't they?
Certainly were, yeah.
Salford, yeah. Well, Gary Neville come under great scrutiny over that, particularly as his
own managerial.
Well, his own managerial experiences plus his day job as a pundit. I just think the Wrexham one's done with a little bit more class.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, and you've watched the Wrexham one, haven't you?
Yeah. Love it. Yeah, but yet again, I don't think I've watched the. I've missed a few episodes. Just don't get the time to watch it. But
well, no, of course.
Listen, anyway, we'll move on to Morecambe. Morecambe Football Club. The sad demise of them. I mean, so far
we've not heard anything more.
Well, what we do know is we know the National League starts on Saturday, and they were due to play at home to, I can't remember who it was now, but
Is it Scunthorpe?
I don't know. Let's have a look. Who was it? Oh no, they would have been away to Boston, wouldn't they? Boston United.
Ah, right, okay.
Boston United, that obviously game has been postponed.
Yeah.
And hopefully some kind of package can come. They can come up with before. Is there a deadline on this now? We're trying to get somebody on the show. We've not been quite successful.
No,
maybe next week.
Yeah. So no, there hasn't been any deadline put into place here. What we know and what we understand is that the current chairman of the club, Jason Whittingham, is still refusing to sell the club, still ignoring all communication with the Punjab Warriors, who are the party interested in buying out Morecambe FC and buying out Mr. Whittingham himself.
And as far as we know, Punjab Warriors have actually put money in there already, haven't they?
I think so.
If this carries on down this line, they'll never get that money back out, will they?
No, they won't, which again is all the more reason why it's quite important, to say the least, that Jason Whittingham just holds his hands up and puts this deal over the line for Morecambe FC, for the prosperity of the club and its fans.
Do we know if there's a cut-off on this?
We don't. I don't think that there is. The culture secretary, Lisa Nandy, is a football fan. She's a Wigan fan. She's from this neck of the woods, and she wrote a personal letter to Jason Whittingham imploring him to sell, in order to at least put this uncertainty to bed. But as yet, that hasn't happened. So we're still, in the dark.
So still no light at the end of a very, very dark tunnel. Some people are suggesting that their most famous resident, Tyson Fury, reputedly worth 160 million, should buy the club. As far as I know, he owns the gym at the club, or just maybe the contents of it, I don't know. And he was invited to buy the club 3 years ago. I'm pretty sure he's been told that you don't invest in a football club, you throw your money into it and it never comes back. But is it fair that Fury should receive any criticism? I don't think so personally, because if you think about Scam United Football Club, if they were to approach ex-Verve Simon Tong or Leon Osmond to bail us out, I think we'd be laughed at.
Yeah, we would be. Leon Osmond, for as much as he's from Scam, he's known for being an Evertonian, and he spent nearly his entire career there as well. So it's really unfair to put that pressure and that criticism on Tyson Fury. He's not an enormous football fan. He's not very.
He's a Man United fan.
He is a Man United fan, but he's not very vocal about the club. He's not very vocal about the success or the failings or anything to kind of do with the club, really. He's very much a family man and a boxer, and that's where his commitments lie. So just because he lives within Morecambe, that shouldn't account for anything. I understand where it's coming from, but it requires somebody who's got a bit more new about being in the world of business and football than Tyson Fury, who he could come on board as a majority stakeholder in the same way that Tom Brady has for Birmingham, but there's nothing to suggest that he should have to take over the club. With that being said, though, the Morecambe FC new kit for the season was released on Friday, just gone, and there were queues running all the way down the main road to buy a shirt.
Is this on the promenade? I've seen pictures.
There was some that stretched onto the promenade as well. Now, interestingly enough, the stadium isn't quite near the promenade, so I'm not sure.
Who owns the stadium? Do we know? Is it?
I have no idea. I'm sure
Is it the Bond Investment? Is it called?
Yeah, Bond Investment, Group, which are Jason Whittingham's.
Yeah,
that's his group, really.
So I don't really know who owns the football club, but are they in a similar situation to what Bury were a few years back? Listen, we've got to applaud Bury, by the way, because they've offered all season ticket holders free entry to their next game.
Which is that is against Morecambe. Is that against Morecambe? No. Is it a friendly or is it?
No. They just invited them down to watch one of their games.
Right. To be fair, Garstang have done the same thing.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, which is that's very sweet of
and when we know when our first game is at the Marine Travel Arena Stadium, we'll invite them down as well.
We will do that.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Yeah.
But listen, the Shrimps Trust are desperately trying to mediate and raise funds for the football club. Like you just said there, they're still selling shirts.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, the club ceased trading effectively on Monday.
They ceased football operations, which means everybody kind of associated with the club at this point is, on leave pending their redundancy or pending their bailout.
And the complaints have been that there's not been a great deal of publicity attached to this. I think I said somewhere on social media, it really annoys me that we're talking about the ongoing saga with Alexander Isaac going to Liverpool, or the fact that he's been told he can no longer train with Newcastle now. That he's getting huge amounts of coverage, and the survival of Morecambe has got really sort of back page headlines. Sorry, not even back page.
No, middle of the paper.
Middle of the paper headlines, I should say.
Pretty much. Yeah, it is really disappointing, and I think there has to be a bit more of an investigation into why football teams like this are going bust, because this has been happening for a while now. I know Bury went bust back in 2019, was it? Or was it?
Yeah, right about that.
Okay. Morecambe are on the brink. Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, I was going to say Sheffield Wednesday. Their players have agreed to play their next game free of payment.
Yeah, they have.
Beyond that, we don't know what's going to happen with Sheffield Wednesday.
No, we don't, because the coverage that we've been getting suggests that there isn't a buyer waiting in the wings here, unlike Morecambe. So it really is. If Morecambe were down a dark hole, then Sheffield Wednesday are in the absolute mire. But
Sheffield Wednesday are the biggest club in Sheffield.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Birmingham, we talked about Birmingham before, they're not the biggest club in Birmingham. Aston Villa is.
This is true. Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that Birmingham were of that ilk once, so they are a bit of a sleeping giant.
They carry the name. They've got the trademark. They carry the name of the city.
Yes, they do. Yeah, and that stands for an awful lot. And another turnout, and their gates they can be pretty high. But teams like this, they do fall. I mean, Sunderland and Leeds, a perfect example. Leeds is the biggest city in the north, and
we see how quickly they tumbled.
Exactly, and now they're in the Championship again. Or are they? No, they're back in the Prem. But Leeds.
Oh yeah, they are
back in the Prem. But
Everton's first game, I think, opening game.
Fabulous.
I'm split there because some of my family are Leeds fans.
But you're an Everton fan.
Rachel and Gary, they're fans of Leeds for some reason. Don't know why.
Sure,
they live in Bradford, but
should support Bradford.
Oh yeah,
Bradford Park Avenue.
Well, I can never quite understand people supporting the club outside their own area. Well, miles and miles away from their area.
This is absolutely true.
Like Norwegians support Liverpool. Oh, you can tell I'm an Evertonian, can't you?
Yeah. Or Londoners supporting Man United.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. But listen, it sort of segues well to this, what we've been talking about, to Division 1 side Southport Hesketh in the West Lancashire League. They've resigned ahead of the 2025-26 season. In an email to the league, Chairman Dave Massam cited a lack of availability among players for the reasons for the resignation, adding they didn't want to start a season they might not be able to complete. Chairman Andy Hosker said, we have unfortunately today received notice from Dave Massam at Southport Hesketh tendering their resignation from the West Lancashire League. This is clearly extremely disappointing news to receive. Southport Hesketh have been members of the league for many years, previously as Fleetwood Hesketh, and I'm sure everyone will be disappointed that they'll no longer be with us. Any planned fixtures issued now will be postponed. This means that Division 1 will only have 15 teams during the 25-26 season. It's all very sad, but it's sort of comes to. I mean, listen, they've got a set up there in Southport, and I think they've got probably reserves and junior teams there as well, which they'll carry on playing.
Yeah.
But very, very sad in this day and age when you can't attract players to play at step 7, step 8 in the pyramid.
Yeah.
And pretty much, I think we've had a similar situation at Skem over the close season in terms of getting players to come to train.
Yes.
We don't do so bad getting them to actually play. But when they're training, they're hedging the bets and they go into different clubs. So they're training at one club one day and then they're playing at another club the next day.
Yeah.
And as you know, during the close season, you can play practically 7 days a week. But I don't know whether it's a snobbery playing at such a level or whether there's too many of these younger people now are just too scared of getting out of bed or they're staying up early hours of the morning playing on the PlayStations or their Xboxes. I can't believe in it. Well, you've got to come to believe it, haven't you? But back in the day in Skem, we had two Sunday leagues. So relatively every pub in Skem had a football team that was in the Sunday league. Now you struggle to you can't even get academy teams. You know, the ESPFA over the last few years have struggled for numbers to recruit young players. So it's getting worse. It's getting more and more difficult to get people to come and play football. Do you understand it?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with we talked about the dilution of the prospective teams for ambition and how there are more and more teams being created out of thin air and trying to make that rise up the ladder, and I think teams and players kind of have a divided loyalty at this point, or they don't have any. You know, they'll go and play for whichever club suits them, whether that's locationally or whether that's because their mates are joining there, or whether it's because the team that they want to play for has a better chance of being promoted or achieving success. You've also got to wonder as well whether Southport Hesketh could find any players that were actually good enough, whether their standards for how they wanted to compete in the league were maybe a little too high for the catchment of players that were being brought in there.
I think for me, I look at the setup there, and I went down last week to go and have a nosy, and it's a lovely little setup that's got potential.
Okay.
But they don't have turnstiles, so they can't make gate revenue, so they rely heavily on sponsorship. And I know, just purely from our perspective, even if you take away the fact that we're ground sharing with Marine and the expense that is costing us, even if you take that away, it's still quite expensive to run a semi-professional or a amateur football club. It's not cheap at all.
No, it's not.
I think with the benefit of having your own ground, you can be a little bit more ambitious and you can dream. But we'd probably, from our perspective, we'd love to be in a similar position to them. But in terms of recruitment, we struggle ourselves, and I often wonder why people would prefer to. And I think I've mentioned this before. There are some good players that we produced last season that are going on to play at a higher level, and they'll do well. There's other players that are either going to be sitting on the benches warming, or not even making the squad.
No.
But all very, very sad.
Yeah.
Hopefully, what they can do is they can get back to next season. They can get back to planning and making sure that they've got a club.
Yeah, I think that
competing again in the West Lancashire League.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I think that's what they're looking for. Bearing in mind as well, the emphasis in that statement is a resignation from the league and not a folding of the club.
Yeah, the club's not folded, and hopefully next season, I think it's Dennis Hill as the manager.
Yeah.
I think he's still doing some work down there. Hopefully he'll manage to get a team together, given a little bit longer, and maybe look at how they can recruit locally. Southport's a strange area, really, isn't it? Because it's a little bit isolated from everywhere else. Where we're sort of bang in the middle of everything, aren't we?
Liverpool, Wigan, Manchester,
even Southport. Southport comes into it as well. So we're
not far away from anywhere, really.
For them, it's a little bit more difficult. That said, it's only a train ride away from Liverpool.
True.
But yeah, listen, all very sad. Just hope all the best for Southport Hesketh.
Most certainly.
And listen, Sheffield Wednesday, Morecambe. Let's hope there's more to come on that, more success in the future. They manage to get things back together.
Yeah.
Listen, we're going to move on to the Northwest counties now, and
we will.
Are we going to start with the results and look at the FA Cup?
Let's do that. So the FA Cup extra preliminary round took place across the weekend of the 2nd and the 3rd of August. There weren't necessarily a heap of shocks, but there were some.
I was looking at last night's shock, and that was because we were recording this on a Wednesday. Is Longridge beat Pilkington 8-1.
Yeah.
So they drew at the weekend, and this was the replay. And Pilkington have started off. They've had a reasonably good start to the season.
They have had a strong start to the season. They're currently, after 2 games, they're in 4th place with 2 wins.
Yeah.
And quite healthy ones.
So I didn't see that one coming. And if you look at the original game on Saturday, they drew 2-2. And what a game it was, because both goals, they drew 2-2, but Pilkington and Longridge both scored 90 plus 4 minutes.
Good.
I don't know which order that came in.
Me neither. That just sounds bonkers, doesn't it?
It was an amazing result, and then of course, a big turnaround there, 8-1.
Well, yeah, I mean, Liam Atkinson sort of helping himself to 5 goals across the 2 games there. He loves playing against Pilks, quite clearly.
Yeah.
They were 3-0 up at half time as well, which makes it for a very 3-1 up at half time, but nonetheless, huge result, that one for Longridge, and maybe one that will galvanise their domestic form as well.
Yeah, and Jordan Dainty, a Skem lad, he scored the 8th goal on the 83rd minute. Jordan Dainty.
All right,
well done to him.
Yeah, fair play.
FC St Helens managed to beat Glossop 3-1.
Yes, they did. Yeah, that was another replay. So the first result ended in a draw as well. I think it was 1-1
draw. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 1-1 between the teams over in Derbyshire. So coming back into Merseyside, and FC St Helens with 2 goals from Josh Briggs, and then a very late penalty from Joe Barker, securing a 3-1 win for them.
Any surprises amongst them? Any other surprises? I think
have a look.
Berry beat South Liverpool 6-0, which you kind of expected.
That wasn't a wholly...
The shock result there for me was Whitchurch Allport, who beat Litherland 3-0.
It's a big result, that, for Whitchurch Allport.
I thought it was a huge result.
Yeah, the Welsh League and the English leagues aren't really comparable, but that is a terrific result for them. Other than that, I think most of them were quite straightforward, if you like. There wasn't an awful lot. Oh, actually, I think Wythenshawe Town against Prestwich Hayes was probably a bit of a result in itself. So Prestwich Hayes beat Wythenshawe. You have a feeling
Wythenshawe are going to have a difficult season, don't you?
I think you're right. Yeah. So they lost their first game of the new season. So did they? They're the ones that have come back into... Oh, no, it's not. It's the other Wythenshawe. So Wythenshawe Town got a reprieve, and they're still in the Northern Prem West.
That's correct.
Whereas Prestwich Hayes staved off relegation at the end of last season and are actually still sitting 20th right now, but managed to beat the Wythenshawe Town by 4-2, despite being 1-0 down at half-time, the Hayes came roaring back with 4 goals in about 30 minutes, give or take. Whereas Wythenshawe had gone 1-0 up and then got back into it at 3-2 with a goal from Dylan Woods, who I think is one of the brothers of Josh Woods, who plays for Accrington Stanley. But a fourth goal in the 79th minute, putting a gloss on Prestwich Hayes there. Superb result for them.
Yeah. Atherton Allard, after 2 defeats in the league, they managed to beat Ossett United in the preliminary round of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So I've got an ulcer on the end of my tongue. So.
Yes, you do.
But a healthy crowd of 280 there. So a nice 1-0 win for David Jones.
Yeah.
Well done to him.
Yeah.
He'd be relieved more than anything.
He will be relieved more than anything. It's not been the easiest of starts for Atherton LR within the league. That being said, the 2 teams they played, one was Ramsbottom, and I think the other was Padiham. So they were never going to have it easy within that league, but I think this is a bit of a tonic to that. I don't think they'll get relegated by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that this was the kind of result that they needed just now to kind of set a bit of a good tone for the next few games.
So we can weave in and out of the FA Cup to the Division 1 North and the fixtures that took place over the weekend as well.
Yeah.
Because quite interesting, really. I think we look at Tuesday's result. Steeton beat Ashton Town. Ashton Town have had a really rocky start to the season as well.
They certainly have. Yeah, so Steeton beat Ashton Town by 2-0 at the Marley Stadium in West Yorkshire. A game which was probably more known for the 5 red cards that were dished out in that fixture, and not necessarily what had happened in front of goals. So Ashton Town Steeton were already 2-0 down, 2-0 up. After goals from new signing Aidan Kirby and long-standing right-sided player Macaulay Macca Smith, putting them 2-0 up before a quite nasty piece of off-the-ball play by one of Ashton Town's players, culminating in a all-out brawl, which saw the dismissal of 3 players, one from Steeton, one from Ashton, and then Ashton's own manager Kevin Towie was also sent off as well. And then the teams exchanged additional red cards in the dying embers of the game as well, which meant that Steeton ended the game with 9 men, and Ashton also ended it with 9 men, but also without a manager as well.
And another team, local team, bowing out of the FA Cup, but also having a difficult start to the season, Bearscough. They lost 1-0 against Charnock Richard on Saturday. So bowing out at the earliest stage in the FA Cup. Very
much so. I mean, these are 2 teams who last season had Jekyll and Hyde halves of the season. So Bearscough were kind of loitering around 17th, 18th place until the last 10 games of the season, when they went on that enormous winning run that propelled them up to about 10th. Whereas Charnock Richard were in the fight for the playoff places until about February time, and then they fell off completely. Managed to stabilise themselves enough that they were nowhere near a threat of relegation, but nonetheless ended the domestic season on a bit of a whimper. They did manage to retain an awful lot of their players from last season, including star striker Nathan Nikias. Wasn't on the score sheet in this fixture against Bearscough, but was part of the team that beat them by 1-0 through Shay Stansfield. So they progress, and Bearscough look back to the domestic season with no FA Cup run.
Yeah, the FA vows to look forward to.
They do.
But, listen, it's very, very difficult to gauge anything early doors.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just looking at some of our, obviously, predictions, and we did, I did predict that I'm sure I predicted that Bearsco would be in the playoffs.
You did. I think you did, yeah.
I just can't find it now. But
I did not.
No, you did not, no. No, but listen, like I said, very, very difficult to judge off these first few results who are going to be the runners and who aren't. But looking at the Division 1 North, we'll go through the results there. Colne 3, Main Road 2.
98th minute winner there from Colne and from Jack Holt to give them...
You quite fancy Main Road, don't you, this season?
No. I fancy... I think I said I fancy Colne.
Yeah, you said Droylsden, Ashton Town, Darwin and Colne as the playoff contenders and Holker as the champs.
Right, okay.
So I went Holker, Ashton Town. You're right, I went Main Road.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, well...
Maybe.
What did that come to?
well, I mean, like you say, these mean nothing yet. And I said that Garstang were going to struggle in the league this season, having only just got a reprieve from last season. But they went to the big name Daisy Hill and they drew. A good result for them at the Sirs ground. They were 2-1 down.
The Sirs ground? Daisy Hill?
Daisy Hill at the Sirs, aren't they?
It's the Ginge
the
Power
old
Stadium.
Sirs, yeah. I thought it was called the old Sirs.
Yeah, it's the Ginge Power Stadium.
It is now, but...
Oh, right. Was it called that before?
I'm sure it was.
Called the Power Stadium before that, wasn't it?
It was called the Plum Factory.
Plum Factory. Yeah.
But anyway, Daisy Hill and Garstang taking a share of the spoils there in front of 270 fans. Not a bad turnout there. Darwin FC got their season up and running with a 2-1 win over New Boys MSB Woolton.
Oh, that was their first game, wasn't it?
It was MSB's Woolton's first game of the year.
But if that's a guide of how their season's going to go,
not bad at all.
We expect Darwin to be up there or thereabouts.
We certainly do. As for MSB Woolton, they've made a decent account of themselves by drawing by nearly getting a result there against sort of financial heavyweights. Darwin, Connor Hughes grabbing an 87th minute winner for the Salmoners in front of 208 capacity crowd over at their ground. I forgot what it's called now. Something Anchor. Anyway, Holker Old Boys continuing their tremendous start to the season with a 4-1 win over Fulwood Amateurs. They were 2-0 up at half-time and very much in control there. Sam Braithwaite pulling a goal back for the hosts, Fulwood, but further goals from Luke Mitchell and Jamie Hodgson putting style over substance in that win in North Preston there.
Bit of a shock result. McGull beating Droylsden 4-3. I had them down for strugglers.
Yeah, I had McGull. I don't know if I had McGull down for struggling, but I certainly had Droylsden up there, as being contenders. But I guess we forgot to account for the fact that McGull have a very, very good strike pair up front.
Yeah.
Now, Jacob Till did not get on the score sheet there, but Darren Brannigan did his goal after 30 minutes, putting McGull 2-0 up, which they carried through to half-time, and then Nathan Peets double early in the second half, putting them 4-0 up. Droylsden came roaring back, 3 goals in 12 minutes to really put the pressure on the hosts, but they saw the win through to the end, pick up 3 points. Now Nelson got their season up and running as well. They were obviously on the end of a thrashing by Holker Old Boys last week, but they have got their first 3 points with a 2-1 win over AFC Blackpool. Max Kane double, securing them a 2-1 win in East Lancashire.
I've just gone back to that Droylsden one then. I thought,
stunning, isn't it?
Well, I'm just looking at the Harry Shipton. I thought it was. I thought I had to do a double take there. I thought it was Shipman.
Oh, right. It's a unusual name, but Harry Shipton.
Anyway, listen, I've gone off the. Where have we got to? We've covered the Nelson one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good result there. I think AFC Blackpool. I think they're going to be tough to beat. They always are. I think they're going to pull off a few shocks as well during the season, but I don't think they're going to.
Probably not as this much.
Just outside the playoffs for me.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. They've got to do it without Luke Heppel as well, because he signed for... God, who is he signed for now? I'm sure it's Darwin.
Yeah,
he signed for a team within East Lancashire as well, meaning that they've got to do without both Heppel brothers that they started with last season.
So looking at the strugglers there, we've got Squiersgate against Thornton Cleveland's. Thornton Cleveland's managed to win 2-0. We expected that to be we expected Squiersgate to struggle.
Yep.
But we also expected Thornton Cleveland's to struggle maybe a little bit more. More so, it looks as though they've managed to pull off a shock result there.
They've pulled off that's a bit of a decent result for them, away from home, keeping a clean sheet as well, in front of 238 fans over in Blackpool. Now that's a bit of a short journey for Thornton Cleveland's. They are a bit of a local derby, if you like. But no, that's a good result for them, and maybe it stays like that.
Yeah. Division 1 South.
So to Division 1 South. So we, as I say, we only sort of lightly gloss over Division 1 South, but we'll cover them in a little bit of detail. So Oscott Heath 1, Barnton 2. Barnton, we said things were going to be happening there, and they're backing that up with 2 goals in the 86th and the 88th minute to turn that game around against Oscott, giving them a 2-1 win. Alsager Town lost at home to New Boys Telford. A penalty by Alex Hughes after 10 minutes being the difference between the teams. Stafford Town continuing their positive start to the season, a 4-1 win away at Camel Laird. They had to come from behind to do it, but 2 goals from James May. It's clearly given up the day job of Top Gear presentation and wines.
Yeah.
Now playing non-league football for Stafford. A double from him, part of that 4-1 win.
There's people out there that will believe that,
Exactly. Cheadle Heath Nomads 3, Folymere 0. Hormond against Runcorn Town. Runcorn Town won that one by 2 goals to 4. Hormond, another team that were promoted at the end of last season. But,
and they took the lead there as well.
And they took the lead, albeit only for 2 minutes. And then Runcorn Town got right back into it and scored 2 goals in the first half, 2 goals in the second half to put the game beyond Hormond. Market Drayton Town and Dan Dawson, they're up and running. They beat Stockport Georgians by 3 goals to 1. Daniel Holcroft grabbing a double for them.
Well done to Dan Dawson.
Very much so, yeah. New Mills 3, Wolverhampton Casuals 2. New Mills, a team that I think one of us predicted was going to be up there amongst the big boys. Rio Wilson-Hayes opening the scoring for them as they held off the Wolverhampton Casuals to win and get 3 points. And Sandbach United opening their account for the domestic season with a 2-1 win over Shawbury United. They're another team that had to come from behind to do it. A goal by Robbie Hatton after 76 minutes, and then Kyle Foley getting the winning goal just 2 minutes later to secure them 3 points at home. And then Wolverhampton Sporting Community 0, Asheville 1, in front of a crowd of 22. Wow. Very sad, though.
It is indeed. But listen, we might be able to go less than that when we're playing at the Marine Travel Arena Stadium, the way things are going.
Oh, gosh.
I know. Beggars belief, doesn't it? But that's the position we're in. But listen, it's great to see the Northwest Counties up and running in full flow. Yep. Nice to see the FA Cup. Listen, we obviously missed out last season because we were in a Division 2 low. Now we're in a division even lower where we don't even get the FA Vars. So it's always interesting to glance over the successes and failures of clubs up in that Step 5 and Step 6.
Particularly when they're close to home.
Region, yeah. And listen, we'll come to it a little bit later, but the conference, the National League North and the Northern Premier League kicks off this Saturday, or I think 1 or 2 games might kick off on the Friday.
Fabulous.
But listen, in the meantime, we'll look at some of the fixtures ahead for this weekend in the Northwest Counties. Starting on Friday night, Prestwich Hayes home to Bearscough. Which way do you see that one going?
You've got to think that Prestwich Hayes are going to be on a bit of a high after that good result against Wythenshawe Town. So I'm going to say Prestwich Hayes for this one.
Yeah, I mean, what do you make of Bearscough's results so far? A lot was expected. I did really seriously think they were contenders for the playoffs, so they were going to be very close.
Yeah, so did I. There'd been a lot of noise coming out of the community ground there in the off-season. A lot of good positive player retention. They'd made a couple of new signings as well. They'd secured some heavyweight sponsorship, as well as the ground share with City of Liverpool, all of which was going to bring in a lot of revenue for the club that then could be invested back into the playing squad. But they are on a slippery start so far. Obviously, they lost at the weekend, and they do find themselves having played 2 and drawn 2, so winless but unbeaten. So they've still got to they've got plenty of time, but I think Dempsey has to kind of address this a bit sooner rather than later, because it was around this time that he ended up leaving the hot seat
just before the season started.
Or was it just before the season started?
Yeah,
right, okay.
Managed to get him back.
4 days later.
Yeah, listen, it's always an interesting one, because you look at those first 5 or 6 results for any football club, and you judge them on the first 5 or 6 games.
Yeah,
and I'm sure Dempsey will be no exception there.
No.
I think the old argument about it's holiday season and it's difficult to have a stable squad. I think that's right across the board, isn't it? That's the same for every team, I would imagine.
I think you're probably right. I think there are a few teams in there who maybe we are expecting too greater things from them. They've made a fast start, and maybe that'll fade off as bigger teams start to bring their squad together as a whole. It all depends on which kind of lads have got children and families. Which ones are due to go off on holiday or on breaks now. So I think we'll have a much more clearer idea of where the division is going to go by about October, November time.
Listen, I still think they'll get there. I think the next few games, I think they'll start pulling some results together.
Okay.
So best of luck to Bearscough moving forward. You've gone for Prestwich Hayes.
Yes, I have.
I'm just thinking it's a little bit too early for Bearscough to kick in, and I'm going for Prestwich Hayes as well.
Oh. We're only going to do a handful of these predictions, aren't we?
We'll do them fully, but we'll do them quick. Yeah?
All right then. No.
So Cheddarton, South Liverpool. I'm going for Cheddarton.
Cheddarton.
Yeah. So that's AJ and me. Right. So Charnock Richard versus Earlham. I'm going for Earlham.
Draw.
You're going for a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. Cheadletown AFC Liverpool.
Home win.
I'm going for AFC Liverpool. And you're going for Cheadle, yeah? Yeah. City of Liverpool, Atherton, a lot. Now that's an interesting one, that really, isn't it? Because neither of them had a particularly good start. But they've got Andy Manjoba playing for City of Liverpool, and he does score a fair few goals.
Yeah, but then you've got Cal Hunter, Tom Romano and Harvey Sample in the yellow side up front, all of whom scored goals in abundance last season. So where City and Liverpool are maybe relying on one player, I think Atherton Allar have that team unity about them. And one thing that we've always said about Davy Jones's sides is that they are defensively very heavy, and they've not lost heavily in their opening 2 defeats. So
where are you going with that one?
I'm going away win.
Yeah, I'm going with Atherton Allar as well, but I think it'll be a close one, that.
Yeah.
Litherland versus Barnoldswick Town.
Draw.
Draw? Yeah, listen, I suppose. Yeah, I'll go for a draw as well. Yeah, go for a draw. Longridge, Wythenshawe. I'm going for a home win, Longridge Town.
I'm going to say a draw.
You're going for a draw. AJ goes for a draw. Pilkington versus Abbey Hay. off the back of that 8-1 defeat, I haven't got a clue because they've had a great start.
No, Abbey Hay haven't had a great start either. They've played 2 and they've
drawn 1.
Yes.
Yeah, they've got a point. So they must have drawn 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, difficult one to judge based on that. I'm going to go for a draw on that one, I think.
Oh, well, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to say home. I'm going to say an away win.
AJ Abbey Hay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Ramsbottom versus FC St Helens.
Still going to go for a home win there, but only just.
Yeah, I'm going for Rami there. Stockport Town versus Padiham.
Away win.
Home win. I'm going for an away.
Just briefly, while we're deliberating on there, FC St Helens' player Ethan Van Asten had an operation to cure an eye injury back in July. So he's not been registered with the team for the season. I don't know how long his recovery period is, but they were a really good side that we played against in the pre-season friendly last season. Obviously, a team that geographically and politically we are very, very close to. So we certainly wish Ethan Van Asten all the very best in his recovery there.
Yeah. West Didsbury and Chiltern versus Exton Villa. Difficult one, that.
It is really difficult because Exton Villa have made a relatively positive start to the season, whereas West Didsbury and Chiltern have stuttered a little bit. Not to mention
one win, one loss.
Yeah, I'm going to say a draw between those two teams. I think if Exton Villa can keep Jordan Lazenbury quiet, then that's a really, really good outlet for them there.
Yeah, listen, I think go along with that. I'll go for a draw. Two draws there. FC Isle of Man versus Glossop North End. I'm
going to go for a home win on this one.
I think FC Isle of Man are having a little bit of a struggle, and I'm going to go for. I think Brody's going to get his first win of the season there, so I'm going for Glossop North End.
Well, all right then.
So that's me, and that's you. You're going a home one.
I am.
Right, we're moving on to Division 1 North. AFC Blackpool versus McGull.
Away win for me.
I'm going AFC. And you're going McGull. Ashton Town versus Daisy Hill. Now, this is very much a derby.
It is.
To a degree, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, Ashton Town located in Ashton Makerfield. Daisy Hill located just the other side of the...
West Horton.
Yeah, exactly, in West Horton. So it probably is to some degree, yeah.
An interesting one there.
It is certainly an interesting one. Two teams that on paper should do really well, but for one reason or another probably haven't made the impact that they would have liked to. Kevin Towie's going to be suspended for this game, I think, after what happened in West Yorkshire the other night.
That won't take place until 7 days, I think.
Will it not? Is that the ruling?
Yeah, I think you'd be okay for this one.
Okay, all right.
So what are we looking at there? Who are you thinking?
I'm going to say a draw there.
You're going to say a draw?
Yeah, both teams play on a grass pitch, so I don't think the terrain will be too much of a thing. I feel like if Daisy Hill can keep the Lomax boys and Mikey Howard quiet, they're probably in for a good night. And Caden Barlow is always a bit of a danger up front in blue, so they do have that possibility of scoring on the breakout. But I think a draw there.
And then Newman's got off to he scored his first goal, hasn't he, for Daisy Hill?
Who's that? Sorry. Oh, what's his name now?
I don't know. Sorry, but I can't remember. I think he scored.
He's been at the North West Counties for donkeys, hasn't he? He's a player they brought in for experience.
It's there on the tip of my tongue. Alongside me also.
I want to say Bryce, but it's not Bryce. What's his name?
I know. Chad White.
Chad White.
Yeah, I think he scored his first goal. I don't know when it was, but he scored he's got off the mark, hasn't he?
Has he gone off the mark now?
I thought he had.
Sure, why not?
But listen, so you're going for...
Draw there. I'm going to go for a draw between Ashton Town and...
Oh, no, you've gone for a draw, yeah?
I have.
Right, okay. Cone versus Fullwood Amateurs. I think Cone are going to win that one.
I think Cone are going to win that one.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Garstang versus Droylsden.
Now, normally you'd say an away win there.
Droylsden, yeah, but Garstang.
Garstang drew the other week against Daisy Hill, who have also struggled. Do you know what? I am going to go an away win, but I think it'll be tighter than what we think.
Yeah, both away wins for that one. Holker Old Boys versus Steeton.
Holker Old Boys for me.
Yeah, Holker Old Boys. Main Road versus MSB Woolton.
I'm going to say a draw there.
Yeah, I'd like to see MSB Woolton get off to a, get their first points of the season.
Yes.
But unfortunately, I think Main Road are going to win that. You think it's a draw?
I do.
Squires Gate versus Darwin.
Away win for me.
Yeah, it's a away win for both of us. Thornton Clevelands versus Ashton Athletic.
Home win, but only just.
Yeah, I think I will go away win there.
All right.
Yeah.
Please yourself.
Yeah, we've got to. Yeah.
We've got to have that difference, haven't we, really?
Yeah, we have First Division South. Asheville versus Stockport Georgians.
Home win.
Right, I'm going Stockport Georgians for that one.
All right. Please yourself.
Yeah. AJ,
yeah.
Cheadle Heath Nomads versus Camel Earths. I'm going Cheadle Heath.
Yes, I'm going to go Cheadle Heath as well.
Eccleshall versus Allscott Heath.
Eccleshall.
I'm going for a draw. Foley Mere versus Market Drayton.
Away win. We're back in Dan Dawson here.
Yeah, we're back in Dan Dawson, so I will go. Yeah, definitely away win for there.
So go on. Dan. Hormond
versus New Mills.
Away win for me.
Away win for both. Yeah. Runcorn Town versus Wolverhampton Sporting Community.
Home win.
Most definitely home win for them. Stafford Town versus Barnton. An interesting one, but I still think Stafford will come out on top on that one.
So do I. Home win there.
Yeah. Telford Town versus Sandbach United.
Away win.
Sandbach, yes. Wolverhampton Casuals versus Alsager Town. I think that's a draw, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to say draw as well.
Listen, we can finish off these fixtures here. Stockport. So we go moving on to Monday, the 11th of August. Stockport Town versus Prestwich Hayes. I'm going to go for Prestwich Hayes.
I'm also going to go for Prestwich Hayes.
Tuesday, the 12th of August. Abbey Hay versus Ramsbottom.
Away win for me.
Away win for me. AFC Liverpool versus FC St Helens.
Away win for me.
Away win for me as well. Listen, we're agreeing far too often here. Mm-hmm. Barnoldswick Town versus Chadderton. I'm going for Chadderton.
Chadderton as well.
Bearscough versus Longridge Town. I'm going for Bearscough.
Draw.
You're going for a draw. Charnock Richard versus Pilks.
Draw.
I'll go for Charnock Richard. You're going for a draw. Cheadletown versus City of Liverpool.
Home win.
Home win, yeah, I'm tending, going for that. Glossop North End versus Wythenshawe. Difficult one.
It is, but I want Brody to get his first win. I think this is the time to do it. Home win for me.
Yeah, home win for me as well. Earlham versus the Isle of Man. I think Earlham are going to do really well this season.
Yeah, you'd like to think.
I think you mentioned that, didn't you? That you thought they were.
I thought they might be a bit of a powerhouse, yeah. I think I said it was a toss-up between Earlham and another team to get into the playoffs, and I don't think I went for Earlham this time around. I think their home form was absolutely amazing, and their away form wasn't quite so much. But I think if they can get it together on both fronts...
Yeah, fair enough. So, Earlham, what do we go? We both went for a home win there. Padiham versus Exton Villa. Interesting one. That's going to be...
Yeah, it can be, but I think of Padiham still.
You're going home win. I'm going for a draw.
Fair enough.
And then Wednesday, taking us up to next Wednesday, which is a week today, the 13th of August, South Liverpool versus Litherland. Nice big Scouse.
Derby. Draw.
Yeah, let's go for a draw. West Didsbury and Chorlton versus Atherton LR.
Draw.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to go against that. I think you're spot on. I think that could be a draw there.
Cool.
Yeah. So that concludes all the results and the fixtures from the Northwest Counties.
Yes.
As mentioned, we just have a little brief look at the conference. I keep calling it the conference. I'm old school, you see. National League kicks off this weekend. Mm-hmm. Like we say, unfortunately, Boston's home game against Morecambe has been postponed due to the problems at Morecambe, obviously. But we're looking at local clubs that start their campaign. Chester are home to Peterborough Sports. Mm-hmm. Darlington are at home to Chorley. Mm-hmm. Macclesfield at home to Wrexham Town. So that's the promotion candidate. The team that got promoted. Yeah. The new boys. Macclesfield, who absolutely blasted through the Northwest Counties.
No, the Northern Premier League
Northern
West.
Premier League West.
Yeah.
Northern Premier League Premier Division.
Pardon me.
Yeah. So, yeah, listen, good luck to Macclesfield as they start their campaign. Southport are away to Merthyr Town. And Marine are also away. Big, I'll tell you what, they're huge journeys, them, aren't they? So, Merthyr Town, Southport, I don't know how far away Merthyr is from Southport, but that's a hell of a long journey.
Wales, isn't it?
Yes, Southish Wales, isn't it? And South Shields versus Marine, another big journey.
Another big mooch up the A1.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the teams in the York City are at home to Sutton United. Of course, York City missed out on the playoffs last season after looking candidates for promotion for a great period of time.
Yeah, they look quite strong, and then they just faltered for some reason. I suppose the big questions are really the two teams that we talk about most in that division are obviously Marine and Southport. Yeah. So I suppose the question is, where do you see those teams finishing?
Oh, you know what? I really don't know. Change of management at Marine, change of management at Southport, change of ownership at Southport. Very ambitious duo there who've taken on the reins of Southport. I don't think it's going to be an easy season for Southport by any stretch of the imagination. I think I see a little bit of a struggle again, but I don't know because they made that big signing, didn't they? The marquee signing. I don't know. I really don't know. I think middle of the table for Southport, and if it is middle of the table, it's an improvement, and it's something for them to build on for the season after. South Shields, Marine. I think Marine will win that one, but where will they finish in the league? I don't know. I'd like to think middle of the table would be an improvement.
Yeah.
I really don't know in terms of recruitment how strong they are compared, but there's a lot of teams in that division there that have got huge financial clout. You know, Chester, Darlington, Scarborough, Kidderminster, Macclesfield, York. Crikey. I mean, it's wow. It's a really, really competitive division, that, without a shadow of doubt.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I don't see Southport or Marine competing for the playoffs. I don't even think they'd be seeing that themselves.
No, I think you're probably right. I think if I was sort of being both teams, you would hope to have a season without drama and relegation tension.
Yeah, you'd be hoping one of the two of those big teams definitely get promoted and it levels off a little bit, because I've mentioned some big teams there, but there's also Hereford in that mix as well.
God,
I know what a division that is. I mean, in terms of relegation candidates, I don't know. AFC Fylde came out of the
conference,
the National League,
National League North,
National League Premier.
Stop it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think looking at that there, I'm thinking, who's the relegation fodder? I really don't know, and I don't want to put me neck on the line. But we'll have a judge after the first game. But
yeah, I mean the names that kind of jump out really are Oxford City, Radcliffe, Peterborough Sports. I think
Radcliffe are probably going to struggle.
Yeah.
But listen, any one of them could struggle. It's a really competitive league.
It is. Yeah. So we'll probably give a bit more of our expert analysis when we actually know more.
What we're talking about.
When we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, when we know what we're talking about. So listen, we'll move on to the Northern Premier League, Premier Division, and just highlight a few of the teams there. FC United are playing at home to Leek Town. Bamber Bridge are at home to Guiseley. Ashton United are away to Gainsborough Trinity. Hyde United at home to Lancaster City. Prescott Cables closer to home. They're at home to Stockton Town. Warrington Rylands are away to Rushall Olympic, and I think Rushall Olympic struggled last season, didn't they?
They certainly did.
Warrington at home to Cleethorpes, and Workington against Whitby Town. There's a few other fixtures there. Listen, Prescott Cables, I think that they'll win their game. I think Warrington Rylands will win their game. I think Ashton United will win their game, and so I say the same for Bamber Bridge and FC United. I think they'll get off to a flyer.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's again, there's sort of powerhouse teams within that division, aren't they? You know, and we talked about this, you know, in the last league, the Northern Premier League, proper, didn't we? Yeah. So for me, obviously, FC United and Manchester are a team that probably jumps out there. Lancaster City, I think, are another one.
They're the big teams there. I think Ashton United are going to have a really good season.
You would certainly hope that Ashton United have a really good season as well. They're a good team. You know,
I've got a soft spot for them.
We've got a bit of a soft spot for them. As for down at the bottom, I think Rushall Olympic were a team that struggled a little bit. I think Hensford United, they went up last season. So will they, have a positive season?
Yeah, they'll kick on. I think they've got maybe a little bit better financial club in terms of the gates that they...
Bamber Bridge, I think, are a team that I'm looking at and wondering how they're going to get on, because obviously they had to put a crowdfunding together last season to be able to kind of stabilise themselves, and I don't know if they're going to be able to prolong that. They're a team that I'm kind of looking at there.
Yeah, listen, we'll just move down briefly to the Northern Premier League East Division, because we've mentioned Blythe Spartans quite often in the last series.
We certainly have.
They obviously got relegated at the end of last season. I don't know whether there's been a bit more financial clout added to their coffers, but if there has, great. They're well supported. They probably do well in that division. If they're not supported financially and the gates continue to sort of drop, then you see them as being one of the strugglers. But listen, best of luck to Blythe, because I've got a soft spot for them. But
and a shout out to Tony as well, who came on the show and whose wonderful and passionate but constructive rant to his players after that Bamber Bridge surfaced up on my social media again, and I just had to watch it.
Yeah, listen, it's for people like him, supporters like him, that you want. You want the best for his football club.
Yeah, he loves his club.
Yeah, he does. We'll move down to Northern Premier League Division 1, West Division.
Yeah.
Atherton Collieries are playing Runcorn Linnets at home. Bootle, Nantwich Town. Bury, Newcastle. Kidsgrove, Wythenshawe Town. Mossley, Lower Breck. Shifnal Town, Clitheroe. Sporting Carza, is that?
Sporting Carza, yeah. They moved across, they did, from the Midlands division.
They're playing Congleton. Stafford Rangers at home to Avro. Trafford at home to Darlaston Town. Vauxhall Motors at home to Stalybridge Celtic. And Whitton Albion at home to Chasetown. Big shout out, obviously, to Clitheroe.
Yeah,
and Sean McConville. We wish him all the best. Hope that he does really, really well there.
Yeah, they've been putting together a really decent squad this season. They looked really positive in pre-season. They did not have a great result in the FA Cup at the weekend. They went down by 1-0 away at Runcorn Linnets, but there's no kind of shame or in that. Runcorn Linnets a good heavyweight team from the Northern Premier League West, and a team who I probably expect to do quite well this season.
Yeah, listen, big shout out to Bury Football Club. We hope they have the best possible start following their fantastic campaign in the North West Counties Premier Division last season. Like I say, they're home to Newcastle Town. That's no gimme by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they've got enough about them. They've recruited well during the summer, so best of luck to Bury and Dave McNabb, who's the manager.
Yeah, and a shout out to Lower Breck and Gary Moore as well, who we don't really. They're not talked about at Lower Breck, are they? We forget that they only finished about 3 or 6 points behind Bury in that record-breaking run. I mean, it could so easily have been Lower Breck who we were talking about as.
I don't think we forget though, do
we? We don't. But
we were absolutely mesmerised all season when we were the sort of nip and tuck of it all.
We certainly were, yeah.
It was a fantastic. It was a fantastic season. But you know what? Looking at all of these divisions now, there's some great quality teams in every division you look at it, whether it be the the Midlands division or the East division, doesn't really matter. There's some quality teams in there. Listen, we talk about dilution in football, but when you look at the quality and the names of these teams that have got really big histories, it's incredible. But like you say, big shout out to Lowbreck. We hope they do well.
Yeah, and a shout out to Gary Moore as well, previous guest on the show. We hope his team do really, really well. I think that they will.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
So listen, we've covered everything sort of locally.
Yeah.
From step sort of 3, step 1 down to step 6 really. So we could probably safely talk about Skep United Football Club right now, couldn't we? I suppose. Where do we start?
Right. So we've had a very productive week actually. So
in terms of recruitment, we have on the field.
Have we?
We managed to have a really good turnout at training last night.
Good. That's positive.
Whether we'll manage to sign all these players, whether they'll all come over the line, remains to be seen, because they're all jockeying for position. I've mentioned this before. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know where they're loved most.
Yeah.
But some good players there.
Very good.
Some players that need a lot of work as well. But that's where we are. In terms of recruitment, it's quite frightening, really. But then we've got a new manager, new management team. It's an exciting period for Skep United Football Club, but it's also a worrying time for Skep as well. We make no bones about that.
Yeah.
We talked about finances. We'll come to the finances of the football club a little bit later. But we managed on our travels again on Saturday. We were at Ashton Athletic, where we were resoundingly beaten 5-1. Is it fair to say that we got much out of that? I don't know. The management team will have a slightly different slant onto it than a supporter. But as it was our last friendly, I think basically Nick and John will know what they're going to retain from that and where they're going to add, which areas they're going to add
of course.
to from. But it's difficult. We've mentioned recruitment. It seems to be difficult at every level if you haven't got money.
Yeah.
I say it now. I mean, even though we're going down to the Liverpool County Premier Division, if I could offer £50 extra to every player playing in the Northwest Counties, then we'd have one hell of a team.
We would have one hell of a team.
Money does count.
Money talks, and even in the Liverpool division. But we are hoping to garner a little bit more of that with our new floating fund incentive. Now we have what would you call it? A raffle, a draw. We have a weekly draw in place. We have a weekly draw in place. Yeah, exactly. It's a very cheap one, and one in which you can either have the single membership, double membership, or a triple membership. The more money you invest, the greater chance you have of reaching either £1,000 or £10,000, with runners-up prizes of between £100 to £10 in prize money there. A good chunk of whatever is put into this weekly draw goes to the club, which is obviously an enormous boost to our bank account at a time when every penny literally counts. So we are endorsing that along across our social media pages across the next few weeks in a bid to try and get commitment in. It's a very cheap incentive that is potentially very beneficial for you and is absolutely beneficial for us. It's the weekly floating fund in partnership with the NYCDA. So we would hope very much that you all get involved in that.
Yeah, and another fundraising event. Friday, October the 10th at Newborough Sports Club.
Race night!
Our annual race night. Very, very successful. Last time round, we raised in the regions of £2,500. A lot of money.
Yeah.
Means such a lot to the football club. Hopefully, if we can sell as many tickets as possible, we can get very, very close to that. It's £10 a ticket, and for that you get some really good, wholesome food.
God bless Rowena.
Yeah, she does all the catering there, and I think she's got one or two assistants with her this year to help her as well, Elizabeth being one of them.
Has she got a vegetarian option, this one?
Well, what did she do? She did separate ones for you and separate ones for...
At the presentation night, she did, yeah.
Yeah.
So at the race night, she didn't know me well enough.
She didn't know you well enough.
So I had bread.
You had bread, which is the food of the gods?
It is the food of the gods, yeah. I wish I'd had some wine of that as well, and then I would have really reenacted the Bible.
Yeah, you had a vodka, didn't you?
Oh, I might have had a vodka.
You might have had a vodka too, but we're having that race night. It's £10 a ticket, wholesome food and entertainment, of course.
Always.
The great race night itself is...
Raffle as well.
Yeah, we have the raffle, and it's an event that's held by John Fitzy, who volunteers his services, and we're really, really, truly grateful to him. Yeah. What we will be looking for ahead of that is sponsors for the races. Mm-hmm. We haven't decided on how much... it costs
sponsoring the horse,
well, sponsoring the race.
Yeah.
You can sponsor the race and you can sponsor the horse, and then you can actually gamble on the horse gamble on the horse on the night.
Yes, you can.
So we're looking for sponsors for races and sponsors for horses, but as soon as that comes out, when that list is made available, it'll be on all social media platforms.
To fill, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be able to support us by doing that.
Additionally, you can also offer in prize money for the raffle that we will have on that night as well. We will have people floating around selling raffle tickets for prizes. And so we hope very much to receive a generous prize in the form of a bottle of something or a box of something. To add an extra reason to spend your hard-earned money the way.
I think there was that many raffle prizes last year. It probably took an hour just to draw the raffle. You
were up there for a while. I eventually won a prize. I think you won about 3. I'm sure James Hughes won.
Didn't you win shampoo?
I won beard wash and shampoo. Yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah. I won a beard wash kit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was a beard wash kit.
It was a beard wash kit, whereas I've only got a very small amount of stubble, so I've still got plenty of it left. I don't think I've ever used the brush, or the comb. I might have to use it on my hair instead.
Yeah.
So there's the incentives for the race night and the weekly draw. Again, just more pushes and incentives that we are bringing along under the name of Skelmersdale United to try and keep us afloat. We wouldn't be doing this if we weren't desperate for some kind of financial involvement to help keep us solvent at this time.
And something I mentioned on social media the other day, which has gathered an awful lot of interest, is I've been sounding this alarm since April, yet I haven't received a single response. I'm more than willing to support the club financially on my own, but my pockets are finite and only enough to keep the club afloat. That's okay, because my goal is to protect its legacy. However, if anyone's eager to help this historic club and join us on a journey of discovery fueled by a touch of ambition, I'd be delighted to connect with you. Let's make a difference together. And that was what I put up on Twitter the other day, and it's attracted 20,000 impressions, 20,000 views. And basically, it's all about asking for sponsorship. And listen, we don't have any divine right to expect to have any help from any local businesses. We don't think that for 1 minute. No. We know times are hard, and we know the cost of living crisis has extended right across, not just domestically, but right across commercial and industrial businesses. We're well aware of that. So we're not moaning about the lack of funds. We're just saying, listen, if you've got a few bob to help us, then we'd be more than happy to accept it. What it has done is it's fueled a little bit of interest. We've got a few people knocking on the door. We've got a new tracksuit sponsor, which we'll reveal next week. Mm-hmm. We've also managed to retain Garners, TW Garners, who've been a long existing sponsor of the football club. So we're really delighted to keep them on board.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, really appreciate it. Every penny counts. Mm-hmm. Listen, we're looking for more. We're still looking for a main club sponsor. So if you want the front of shirt sponsorship and the banner that goes with the Twitter account as well, you're more than welcome to that. You can negotiate the price. Listen, we don't ask for a lot. We're just trying to cover the cost. The cost of our kits, our training gear, and any other expenses that we have.
And there are a few. League registrations, travel to the game,
insurance,
laundering the kits and keeping them clean and fresh and to a good standard. Training as well. A lot of people kind of think that even at this level, everything is entirely voluntary, or they haven't considered exactly where the money is coming from. The money at the minute is coming from Frank and from what money we've managed to scrimp and save, but that isn't enough at the minute. As much as we try hard to make the money count and to be as frugal as what we can do, we still need investment all the time to not only make us a solvent club but a better club. And so at a time and in an age where alienation from the higher echelons of professional football is starting to eke slowly and more thoroughly into the hearts and the minds of the working man and woman who feel less inclined to spend their money on the professional game, non-league is what they're turning to, and non-league is becoming a bigger and more intriguing facet of football than ever before. So we would urge you to investigate, not just in Skelmersdale United, but in non-league football in general. Go down to your local team, buy a ticket for £5 to £10, have a pint mixing with any and all of the fans, get involved with the halftime raffle and the sponsorship days, and I promise you will feel an awful lot more gratified from the experience than you ever would in the professional game. I know I am.
Yeah, well, I said I've mentioned this numerous times before. I was knee-high to a grasshopper when I was dragged along to the football. A very, very young age, when my dad was the director of the the Skelm United Football Club when they were first in the Northern Premier League. And, my dad, as a director at the time, ended up becoming chairman, and my uncle followed on from him. It's something that's existed within the family now for 50 plus years. I love the football club. I'm often asked a lot of questions as to, well, why are we the added expense of playing at Marine? Well, first of all, I think we've mentioned this before. We had a March 31st deadline. We had to meet. We didn't know whether we'd get a reprieve at the end of the season. We didn't. But also with that in mind, we thought, well, okay, if we get relegated, at least we have an opportunity to restock, re-go again, and hopefully regain promotion. And if we do, then we're ground sharing on a ground that is adequate enough to get back into the Northwest County. So that's why it was done. And people, the one or two people behind the scenes are still saying, well, can't you go somewhere else? Reduce the financial burden. Well, we're trying to think a little bit further ahead. We're trying to be ambitious to a degree, but equally, we're not daft either. It's going to be a difficult season. We know that, but like AJ's alluded to there, if we can manage to pay our bills, which we're going to do, we've already determined that we can meet those obligations. Beyond that, any extra few bob that we get over the line, then that can help towards players' expenses and helping us get back to where we all want to be. And then eventually, further down the line, hopefully we'll get back to Skem as well. So, yeah, listen, we're doing all kinds of fundraising and initiatives to raise additional money besides sponsorship, because we do realise that you can't rely solely on sponsorship anymore. That's not always possible. But yeah, we're trying our hardest, and like if you look at all of us as a collective, we volunteer our services. Sometimes it's heartbreaking. Sometimes it's very pleasing. Listen, we only got a couple of wins last season. Boy, did we celebrate them, didn't we?
And the rest.
And the draws, the two draws. I mean, I remember you I think it was one of your first games, wasn't it? Again,
it really was, yeah.
Away to Garstang. And we came back from 3-1 down, was it, or something like that? And we managed to draw the game 3-3. AJ was that ecstatic, he forgot he was carrying a camera. And you were actually pitch side, weren't you? So he was actually on the ground celebrating.
Yeah.
Really unheard of. But then you went and repeated it up at Main Road when we managed to get a last minute winner.
I invaded the pitch on that game.
And he was buried in a heap of Skem United sweaty players.
With my camera as well.
With your camera as well.
That camera has been threatened with its existence far too often.
So there are a lot of great...
great memories.
There are a lot of great memories to be had from football. And some of them probably not so much involved directly with football. Maybe training nights when we have a fair bit of camaraderie when we go to those. Maybe before the game when we have a coffee and we have a chat. It's a real social event. And for anybody that's interested in supporting Skem, I strongly recommend, regardless of the results, you get involved with the football club at any level, because it fills a big void in a lot of people's lives as well as anything else.
Yeah, it does.
But listen, we are volunteers, and it would be easier at times to walk away. We've chosen not to. We've chosen to carry on doing it the difficult way, and that's keep on plugging at it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, come the beginning of the season, we'll be talking about that more next week, because next week is the start of our season. We are away to Joey Orr's 11:30 kickoff.
I will
week
be
on
on
Saturday.
Exactly. I will be on the microphone on Mix LR from maybe 10:45, 10:45, something like that. I'll figure it out and let you all know.
So we could get out of bed early enough, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's an early start. I've never kicked off at 11:30.
We've never kicked off at 11:30. Only ever been 3s, really, or maybe 7:30s. But no, this will be a morning kick-off, so make sure you're up bright and early. Have your shreddies on the table ready for you, and either get down to the game or get on the onlines and listen to my dulcet tones carry you through the match day commentary. I know we talk at Skelmersdale United about volunteers and how we are refusing to walk away. We do recognise, though, that sometimes life does happen and commitments outside of football do come first. So I do just want to say a big thank you and all the very, very best to our two departing volunteers, the Vice Chairman Gordon Johnson and Joint First Team Coach Andy Barlow, who have chosen to leave the club in order to pursue other commitments outside of football. Thank you very, very much for your commitment and your effort, lads, and we wish you all the very, very best.
Here. I've been speaking to Andrew throughout the week, still speak to him, so nice to listen to, and nice to speak to Andrew. Unfortunately, we've lost Gordon Johnson. Gordon Johnson took on the challenge of becoming a councillor in the May elections and was successful, and is involved with I don't know what the right word for it. He's councillor for the he's councillor for the Ormskirk ward, I believe.
Yes, he is.
And doing a very, very good job there. But obviously, it's very, very time consuming. I have a lot to thank Gordon for. He brought me back to the football club. I say a lot to thank him for. I sometimes think
lots of questioning for.
Yeah, I mean, he came down here May 2 years ago and said, "Listen, the club's in a bit of a pickle. Can you help us out?" And listen, I didn't imagine for 1 minute that I was ever going to get back involved with Skem United Football Club as a director. Never mind the chairman again, but I was delighted to come back, and I'm delighted to be heading this football club right now. But listen, we'll miss Gordon. I'll most definitely miss Andrew Barlow as well.
Most certainly, yeah. So
yeah, best of luck to both. I'm moving on to the, final thoughts, but what have you learned this week so far?
Okay, so I have learned that, let me see, emotions run high on the football field. Emotions run high, none more so than in West Yorkshire on Tuesday night. Emotions run high, but also... eventually you will get a bit of a turn of luck one way or another, and I think we are starting to see a few fruits of our labours, and I'm hoping that we're going to see those blossom and grow into more kind of more better results for us. So yeah, emotions run high, but the reward is there.
I've just got to learn to be. I've always considered myself to be a patient person, but the amount of anxiety and pressure that I've been under recently, I've questioned whether I do have the patience. But sometimes I think what you've got to do is you've got to press the reset button. You've got to think a little bit longer and harder. You've got to hold your breath, bite your bottom lip, and take a little bit of time to consider things. And then, like I say, press that reset button and try and recharge those batteries as you go along. And what I do find is that listening to some of the stories coming out with Morecambe,
and Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield, and then like we spoke about Southport Hesketh, sometimes you have to be thankful for the position that you're in, because there's always somebody worse off than yourself. So listen, I'll leave the final words to the dulcet tones of AJ.
You've been You've been listening. You've been listening to the Speaking Frankly Football Show with me, AJ Vegette, and my co-host, Mr. Frank Hughes. We are available on most streaming services for wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify and Amazon Music. Please do rate and review our episodes, as we thrive on hearing your feedback. Please also subscribe so that you can be you can be informed as to when a new episode of the show has been released. We are also on social media sites, predominantly X and Facebook, under the banner Speaking Frankly Football Show. And so from Frank and myself, we will see you next week for episode 6. Until then, bye-bye for now.